Behold, looks on.
I, Esdras, saw upon the Mount Sion a great people, whom I could not number, and they all praised the Lord with songs. And in the midst of them there was a young man of high stature, taller than all the rest. And upon every one of their heads he set crowns, and was more exalted, which I marveled at greatly. So I asked the angel and said, Sir, what are these? He answered and said unto me, These be they that have put off the mortal clothing, and put on the immortal, and have confessed the name of Yahweh. Now are they crowned and receive palms. Then said I unto the angel, What young person is it that crowneth them, and giveth them palms in their hands? So he answered and said unto me, It is the Son of Yahweh, whom they have confessed in the world. Then began I greatly to commend them that stood so stiffly for the name of the Lord. Then the angel said unto me, Go thy way, and tell my people what manner of things, and how great wonders of the Lord thy power thou hast seen.
Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven.
Matthew chapter 26, verse 29. But I say unto you, I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine, which is wine, which is made from grapes, as you know. And our Lord, he loves to drink, man. That's something that our Lord took pleasure in when he was here on this planet Earth. He's not going to do it anymore until he returns to do it with you. Showing just how much he loves his elect, man. He's not even going to drink until he does it again with you. I will not drink henceforth of this fruit of the vine until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom. So what a moment that's going to be, man.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakwadash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to us younger brothers, and peace and blessing and salutation to the hopeful elect out there pushing his word of truth and in sincerity across the four winds in the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, pushing to get up out of here. Shalom to the hopeful elect, the believers, the listeners whom have came back to the obedience of the scriptures through faith in Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. All right, and what I want to get into today, is what we're seeing, is a rise, in pre-flood behavior, as we get, closer to the time, where the Lord is getting ready to judge, the earth with fire. Okay, what we're seeing, is an uptick, in rebellion and mockery against the Most High, and what we see, beyond, what we see with Christianity and what Christianity has done, has been such a poor representation of the Bible. Okay, that it makes the Bible, all right, look like a joke because of the Christian doctrine. Okay, which Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. This modern Christianity, okay, these people, these 2.2 billion people calling themselves Christians today, all right, this modern Christianity has nothing to do with the true doctrine of the Bible. Okay, and the Christian doctrine is so contradicting, all right, that people, are able, to find all type of flaws and, contradictions within Christianity. Okay, and the Bible doesn't contradict itself. It's the Christian doctrine. Okay, the Christian doctrine has been a poor representation of the Bible. Okay, and as these people are making mockery of the Bible, these Christians have no answer. Christians can't explain, all right, their belief in the Bible, because it's BS. Okay, it's not rooted in anything. A bunch of pagan holidays, a bunch of myths, okay, a bunch of traditions, okay, oral traditions, and you know beliefs passed down that has nothing to do with the Bible. Okay, so as you have these mockers, which I haven't been on TikTok that much lately, but as of late, just found this rabbit hole of people just bucking up against the Bible. The Spirit just put it in my lap. So let's go here. Let's get some precepts. Okay, but what I'm seeing is a bunch of mockery. And people have to play their role. And it's our people that's on the front line. You know, a lot of women. Mostly women. It's simple niggas too. But mostly women. That's real. Okay, real proud. Okay, and opinionative when it comes to the Bible. You know. Now, when you go to 2 Ezra 15:1, it says, "Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true." Okay, and their paper is the Bible. And like I said, a lot of people, now because Christianity is a joke, they think the Bible is a joke. Okay, now that's where it gets tragic. Okay, because we know Christianity don't got it, and Christianity is a joke. Okay, it has nothing to do with the Bible. But see, what the Lord has got a lot of our people in the trick bag is they make mockery of Christianity. Okay, they begin to make mockery of the Bible as if Christianity, you know, and the Bible are one and the same when it's not. Okay, and I can't say it enough. Christianity has been a poor representation of the Bible, and they're not built for the defense of the gospel. Okay, they don't know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay, and that's why these Christians don't have a rebuttal, and these people, that speak against the Bible and make mockery of it, and ask these questions, stomping Christians. Christians don't know how to answer. Okay, and you can tell the Lord, has this dynamic playing out. Okay, because He wants, mockery of the Bible to be on the uptick. He wants people to be marked for judgment. Okay, here it is. All this prophecy is happening in real time. Okay, and you have this uptick in people with the Bible on trial. Okay, not Esau. You see, that's the thing too. The so-called white man who's in real time, okay, doing all type of wickedness. No one is investigating this nigga. Okay, Jake is obsessed with trying to prove the Bible wrong. Okay, but the so-called white man in real time is doing real life wickedness. Okay, in the planet Earth, what this nigga plans, all right, what this nigga has planned, okay, for the masses is the most wicked thing the Earth has ever seen. Okay, and the Bible is the only thing that has a solution for this nigga and to remove this nigga from power. Okay, the Bible is the only book that removes Esau Edom from power. Okay, puts his ass in captivity and eventually does away with him. Okay, so these people have jumped on this bandwagon of mockery. Okay, scoffing. Okay, but here it is. Prophecy is happening in real time. Even them scoffing is a part of prophecy. We'll get that. It says, "Fear not the imaginations against thee. Let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee." Okay, so incredulity is someone's ability to not believe. You know, or their inability to believe. To say it better. Okay, someone that has incredulity, that means they don't even have the capacity to believe. And 2/3 they don't have the capacity to believe. Okay, so you Christians are through. You people mocking the Bible are through. Okay, because all of you are guilty for incredulity because you come to the Christian with the real doctrine, All right, they're gonna mock and scoff. Okay, and these people that's mocking, the Bible because of Christianity, if you come with them with the real doctrine, they will just mock and scoff. So 2/3, okay, no matter what angle they come from, they all guilty of incredulity, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's just get the word, um, for edification's sake. So when you look it up real quick on the Google, just look it up on the Google. Let's see. Oh, man. Okay. So real quick, just to look at it. Let's go here to incredulity. Quick Google search. So you go to incredulity. It means incredulity is the noun form of incredulous, referring to a feeling or state of disbelief, shock, or unwillingness to accept that something is true or real. Okay, so the Lord placed people within the movie to be, all right, incredulous. Okay, not having the ability to believe, okay, or to accept the Bible to be real or true. Because that's the thing too. There's a rise of atheists. Okay, atheism amongst Jake. Okay, it says often describes a reaction to shocking, surprising, or highly unbelievable news. Okay, you go to the synonym: disbelief, skepticism, doubt, doubtfulness, unbelief, mistrust. Okay, and this is what we see a uptick in. And this is the earth under Esau. This is what he forwards in the earth. Okay, is unbelief in the Bible, unbelief in the Most High. But everybody's fully engaged in belief for this nigga in this system, man. Okay, so going back, let's go here real quick. I got a couple videos and something on the chat pulled up. But just to finish this off, 2nd Ezra 14:3, it said, "Fear not the imaginations against thee." Okay, let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. So this is not troubling unto us. Okay, because you look at it, those that believe, you like, damn, this the good news. Hey, the so-called white man, this nigga is finna be removed from power. We finna be immortal. We finna get the earth in righteousness, and the earth is going to be a paradise again. And that's another thing. Our people don't understand the end game, because they go into the Bible and go into different accounts and try to paint the Most High out like he's some type of villain. You don't understand the end game, and you don't understand righteous judgment, man. Okay, and it's just not given to the masses of our people to understand the Bible. They're supposed to look into it and get tripped up. Okay, they're supposed to look at the Bible, read something, and have a bugged out interpretation. They're supposed to study the Bible and be more confused. That's part of it. Okay, it says, "For all the unfaithful shall die in their unfaithfulness," man. And this is what we're getting ready to see. A bunch of unbelievers going to die in their unbelief. Okay, so unbelief doesn't we don't marvel at the unbelief of our people. Okay, the Lord said they was going to speak against the word. They was going to speak against the Bible. They was going to mock. They was going to scoff. This is a part of it. Okay, so unbelief is a part of prophecy, man. It's a part of the movie. The Lord got this thing scripted out exactly how he wanted it to be. So when you go here, let's go to Romans chapter 3. This Romans 3:3. It says, "For what if some did not believe? Shall their unbelief make the faith of the Most High without effect?" Okay, so and people think just because they go on TikTok and they post certain things dealing with the mockery of the Bible. You got these people come in and cheerleading, and people move as if, okay, just because it's a bunch of people that's in agreement with their disbelief, that means something. Okay, just because you atheist, that means that you don't have to deal with the accountability of the scriptures. Like you're exempt from being accountable according to the scriptures just because you atheist or you don't believe or you think you found a flaw in the Bible. So now that exempts you from the judgment in the Bible. And this is what people are going to be mistaken, sadly, man. and painfully. Okay. Verse 4, it says, the Most High forbid, yeah, let the Most High be true, but every man a liar, as it is written, that thou mightest be justified in thy sayings and mightest overcome when thou art judged, man. So let the Most High is going to be true. The Most High word is going to be, and it's happening now. See, that's the thing why they're mocking. They don't understand. They're just playing their role, and you got other prophecy coming about. Okay, while you're mocking, playing your role as a mocker within prophecy, okay, this devil is getting ready to roll out this MOTB system, this digital currency, okay, digital surveillance. You see, he's finna roll out all these things, man. Programmable money, okay, social credit score, okay. You got pestilence, all these things are happening, man. Third World War is brewing, okay. The devil's getting ready to be like a madman sparing none. So you people that are scoffing and mocking, you're just playing your role within the Lord's algorithm. All right. You're just a small part of the Lord's algorithm, okay, to his end game. And that's to establish Yahweh Shai as the King of Kings and Lord of Lords forever. See, Jake don't understand the end game. That's why Jake is so offended at the Most High about past events in the scriptures, which everything the Most High did was justified and is righteous, man. All the Most High know is righteous judgment. You see? But see, our people ain't spiritual, and they don't know the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Okay? Let's go here real quick. Let's go to Peter. Go to 2 Peter chapter 3. This is all part of the Lord's movie, man. 2 Peter chapter 3 and in verse 3, it says, knowing this first, that there shall come in the last days scoffers, walking after their own lusts. Okay? So this is a part of the movie. You see? You got scoffers, and see, there's people that's getting hundreds of thousands of views. They're scoffing. I seen one video like 2.4 million views scoffing. Okay? Mocking the Bible. That's trending now. You see, in the satanic society, that's trending. And it's another thing too. People are trying to make it seem as if Satan, okay, which we fully understand that Satan, all right, is a creation of the Most High on the left-hand side. Okay, to fulfill the Lord's will on the left-hand side. Okay, and see that it's a lot of things in the scripture that if you're not meant to get it, it bugs you out. Okay, you're offended. Offenses must come. Okay, the fact that the Most High created Satan, okay, and he allows Satan, all right, leeway on the left hand to do particular things for his will, because the Most High got an end game in mind. Okay, and if you're not in the spirit, you don't understand the end game. Okay, the longer we're in this truth and we grow in understanding, the more everything that the Most High has done from Genesis until now, it makes more sense. Okay, but if you're on the outside looking in, you're just going to be more confused and more offended. Okay, you're going to find, see, the Lord God to what the elect are being edified and built up every day, and everyone else is being more offended every day. Just like we can go into the Bible, okay, or we can watch a video, we can watch a video, or, and be edified. Well, these same people, they read something in the Bible and they're more offended than they were yesterday. Okay, because the Most High doesn't want them to get it. Okay, so these scoffers are walking in their own lust, because if you're getting hundreds of thousands of views, you can monetize it. So now you got a whole platform of just scoffing. Okay, you're making a financial gain just based off scoffing. Okay, because it's a platform for that now. Posing these questions, trying to stump the Bible, it's a platform for that now. It's a whole community for that now. Okay, and these people want the Bible to be false so they continue on living in their lust, man. Okay, living after their lower nature. You see, they're cool with Esau running the earth. They don't have no problem with Esau. They don't have one sentence to say about Esau. Okay, their energy is hoping that the Bible is not real so they can continue on in their lust, man. Okay, it says in saying, where is the promise of his coming? And since the fathers fell asleep, all things continue as they were from the beginning of creation, man. You know, a lot of people mocking the second coming, saying, oh, he ain't coming, you know, but they mocking the Christians. But see, the Christians don't got it. You see, this Jesus character they talking about, no, he's not coming. Yahweh Shai coming. And he's coming to wage war, man. You know, and the build up to Yahweh Shai, man, is going to be, a time of terror, like the earth has never seen. And now we see why the Lord gonna make so many statements with judgment, man. Now it makes sense. Okay. So I got let's see. Let's go here. I want to play this. I got a few things. Now with this little chick, brothers and did videos on them before. All right, but the spirit just brought her back across the radar. And it's not so much about her, as it is because she's just a logo for a mindset of a lot of our people. Okay. Now she's going to hear, I guess, Christians. See, Christians are a horrible representation of the Bible. Now let me get this. So I guess a Christian said God is not a killer, God is love. That's because Christians don't know the Bible. Okay, and the Most High is a judge. Okay, and part of judgment is death. That's a part of judgment. There can be an outcome according to whatever the judgment is, man. Certain things are punishable by death. Most High is a righteous judge. Okay, he has the authority. All authority of death comes through him. Okay, all authority of life comes through him. He is the Most High. He is all powerful, man. Okay, now here it is. She's going to give this spiel about all the accounts of the Most High killing in the Bible and telling people to kill, and it just shows you that people, when you go into how people try to use the Bible, okay, and make the Most High a villain by going into these particular accounts, and this is what Esau does. Esau, he paints a picture of it when he pushes his propaganda to demonize something. He just give you bits and parts. He don't give you the build up to it, the why behind the things that happen. He doesn't give you the story. He just gives you, bits and pieces. Okay, and paints a picture of someone being a villain or a tyrant or something has to be done about him. When Esau pushes his propaganda to villainize somebody, that's what he do. Even look, they bringing in drugs. This cartel. They doing this, and whatever. That's what Esau does, and this is because the earth is in the spirit of an Edomite. The earth is in the spirit of a satanic Edomite. Okay, so let's play this. Hold on, let me.
Chris, you have not read the Bible. If I had $1 for every time that your God either killed someone directly or instructed someone else to kill someone, I'd be Daddy Warbucks. Here's a few examples, just a few. Genesis 7, God sends a flood to kill the entire population on earth aside from Noah and his family. 1 Samuel 15, God commands the slaughter of the Amalekites, including all of the children. Exodus 12, God kills all the firstborns in Egypt. Numbers 21, God sends venomous snakes to kill his own people. Genesis 19, God destroys Sodom and Gomorrah, killing everyone residing there. Exodus 14, God hardens the Pharaoh's heart for like the 5th time and causes the Pharaoh to go after the Israelites that he just set free. Then God drowns the Pharaoh and all of his army. Joshua 8, God commands the Israelites to kill 12,000 innocent men and women in the city of Ai. Numbers 31, God commands the slaughter of the Midianite men and the non-virgin women. God also commands the Israelites to take the virgin women for themselves. What a loving God. Judges 7 and 8, God commands Gideon and his 300 men to attack the Midianites, and 120,000 men are killed. 2 Kings 2, God sends 2 bears to maul 42 boys to death. Number 16, God splits open the earth, swallowing up 3 men and their families. Also in Numbers 16, God sends a plague to kill 14,700 people because the Israelites were upset with God for killing those 3 men and their families. God really said, oh, you don't like me killing people? Let me kill more people. Judges 16, God helps Samson kill himself and a bunch of Philistines along with him. Exodus 32, God commands the Levites to kill their brothers, friends, and their neighbors. 1 Samuel 6, God strikes down 70 people for looking inside the ark of the Lord. Some Hebrew manuscripts say 50,070, but my Bible says 70. 2 Samuel 24, God sends a plague to kill 70,000 innocent people as punishment for David counting all of the fighting men in Israel. Isaiah 37, God kills 185,000 Assyrians in their sleep. I could go on. Those are just the ones that I know off the top of my head. And please miss me with that, oh, but that was the Old Testament bullshit, because y'all certainly care about the Old Testament when it comes to the story of creation, Adam and Eve, Noah and the ark, the 10 Commandments, Moses, King David, and those few verses in Leviticus about being gay. Yeah, all of a sudden y'all care about the Old Testament then, huh? Plus, your own God says in Malachi 3 and 6 that he does not change, meaning he's the same murderous God in both the Old and New Testaments. This is probably one of the easiest videos that I've made, and it's not like that one Christian that I made a video responding to who somehow didn't know that there was rape in the Bible. Anyone with a brain who has heard of this God knows that he's a killer. Yahweh is literally a war God. That's why there's so many instances of him telling his people to go into battle and kill everyone. He's a bloodthirsty, murderous war God. What I'm struggling to find in the Bible, though, is this many instances of this God showing love. Christians are so convinced that God is love when there's little evidence of that in the Bible, but there's plenty of evidence that he's a killer, and y'all are finding that hard to believe. I know the whole thing with Christians is like having faith and believing in shit that you can't see, but I didn't know that y'all were just blatantly ignoring evidence that's right in front of your face. You have not read the Bible. If I had
Let's see, a Christian, okay, their perception of the Bible, it fuels this as if she's on point, because Christians don't have a clue. Most Christians haven't read the Bible. The few Christians that do read the Bible is because the Hebrew Israelites, the camps, okay, they had to get on point because of the camps, okay. But people like her, which I think she's an atheist, okay, then she's alphabet, and she's offended, by the Bible stance, dealing with alphabet, all right, with moles and lesbos, okay. But now she's going now, look how cold the Lord is. She's going through the Lord's resume, how he don't play, and she playing. Then she said the Most High, he changed not. So here it is. She's going through the resume of the Most High where he don't play. Okay, and see, we don't teach this God
dollar for every time.
Okay, we don't teach this God of Christianity. Okay, this one way God. All right, and then she lied and said there's no there's no, accounts in the Bible of the Most High showing love. Come on, man. All the miracles that the Lord worked for his people, okay, in the Bible, but we're not going to get into all these different accounts, because she just bringing out random accounts where the Most High, put people to death, he judged. Okay, but now these same people, when Esau bombs the shit out of people, okay, where is the rhetoric then? You see, Esau Edom can do wickedness real time, not get questioned. But the Most High is always on trial. And this is the world. She's speaking as if she's some authority figure over the Bible. Okay? She's there, and she's just the logo of many, because you go on the comment board, it's a lot of people that's praising her, got jokes and adding to it, and egging her on, and you see. So she's just a logo. She just one of the ones that's bold enough to say this, but a lot of people have this sentiment towards the Bible. Now, let's go into the scriptures. First, let's deal with some things. I'll say, okay, so the God of Christianity doesn't line up with the God of the Bible. Okay, and that's why I say Christians, y'all should y'all should counsel all y'all accounts. Okay, and sit y'all ass down, man. Y'all a terrible representation of this book, man, and you're not set to defend it. Now, when you go here and do Deuteronomy, okay, because that's one of the realizations that we had to come to when we came into the truth, because a lot of us came out of Christianity, okay. But see, the difference is we didn't get offended at the Bible. We didn't throw the Bible away with Christianity. We just threw away Christianity and we really got into the Bible. Now we're becoming familiar, all right, with our power. All right, and we know he don't play. Okay? So first off, let's go here. It says um yep, this is Deuteronomy 32 and 39 says, see now I am he, and there is no power with me. I kill and I make alive, I wound and I heal, neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. So we know our power don't play. You know, we not here to sugarcoat with you. Yeah, all them accounts, that's him. That little rundown you just did, yeah, that's the highlight tape. Okay, and he's still active. You see, he's still active. That's the thing. He's alive and well. Okay, and he's going to address this rebellion, this pride, because you can just see the pride oozing off the screen. Then she went into Pharaoh. Well, how did Pharaoh respond to the Most High? Why was Pharaoh getting jacked up? You go into those plagues, the Most High was confounding all those guys of Egypt. Okay, Pharaoh was proud. These pharaohs thought they was the reason the sun came up every morning. That's why the Most High sent the plague of darkness. Okay, they worshiped the Nile River. That's why he turned it to blood. They worship, a god with the frog head. That's why it was a plague of frogs. They represent a god with the insect head. That's why it was a plague of insects and gnats. Okay, they worship a god with the calf head. Okay, that's why it was a plague against their livestock. Okay, so the Most High was hardening Pharaoh so he can mock that nigga and show him that you ain't it. Okay, and we finna see the same thing in this time, but worse, man. And it's perfect. The Lord got it, the timing of everything perfect, man. This rebellion, this little cute trend to be rebellious against the Bible. This is perfect. Y'all right on time. Oh, y'all right on time. Y'all came on the scene right on time. Okay, now just real quick with Pharaoh, it says, and afterward Moses and Aaron went in and told Pharaoh, thus said the Lord power of Israel, let my people go, that they may hold a feast unto me in the wilderness. And Pharaoh said, who is the Lord Yahweh, that I should obey his voice and let Israel go? I know not the Lord Yahweh, neither would I let Israel go. So this nigga was proud, and the Most High broke up their pride. You see, that's the part of the story that you're leaving out. The Most High broke up their pride. Okay, and then she went into Sodom and Gomorrah. That's self-explanatory. Everybody know why Sodom and Gomorrah got their work. Okay, but she's alphabet. Okay, so in her mind, the Most High was wrong. They should have the liberty to love. And see, these people love Esau because Esau gives them the liberty to be wicked. Okay, then she talk about Amalek. Okay, well, wait a minute. Since you want to talk about Amalek, well, what is the response to this video? Let's get this out. Here it is. You got this devil here. Okay. Let's go here. Let me see. I got it. Yep. So you got this devil here, Benjamin Netanyahu. Now, she mentioned, okay, 1 Samuel, okay, the 15th chapter. Okay, well, guess what? This devil, he used 1 Samuel 15th chapter to justify genocide real time right now. Okay, so where's the response dealing with him? Are we going to get all you people that mock the Bible? Okay, are you going to address Netanyahu for using 1 Samuel the 15th chapter? Okay, to justify a real live genocide, airstrikes on women and children. Okay, and I say America, they can just do airstrikes. These small heads, they can just do airstrikes, and they get celebrated. Oh, see, I told y'all, America got the best military. It's good we got that oil, so we can go ahead and get it. And they just justify murder and robbery. See, what Esau do is bravery. Okay, but what when the Most High judges based off righteousness, then he's a villain. Okay, so let's play this with this nigga, man.
You must remember what Amalek has done to you, says our Holy Bible. And we do remember, and we are fighting our brave troops and combatants who are now in Gaza or around Gaza and in all other regions in Israel are joining this chain of Jewish heroes, a chain that has started 3,000 years ago from Joshua ben Nun until the heroes of 1948, the Six-Day War, the 73 October War, and all other wars in this country. Our hero troops, they have one supreme main goal: to completely defeat the murderous enemy and to guarantee our existence in this country. We've always said, never again. Never again is now.
So he goes into the Bible and says, now go and smite Amalek. This is 1 Samuel 15:3. Now go and smite Amalek and utterly destroy all that they have and spare them not both, but slay both man and woman, infant and suckling, ox and sheep, camel and ass. So here it is. This nigga is Amalek. Okay, Amalek is using, okay, the commandment the Lord gave, all right, Israel to slaughter his ass, okay, to justify his wickedness today. Okay, now are they going to get called out? Those are saying, don't just stop with the Christians. Okay, the Christians are just a punching bag. Okay, they don't even have the ability to fight back with the scriptures. All right, Christians are a punching bag, man, completely defenseless in the Bible. Okay, but are you going to call out these small hats, okay, for using the Bible to actually unalive people, all right, by the tens of thousands? Okay, absolutely not. And this is my thing too. Now, when you let's see. Now here it is. If you say something against the small hats, okay, they'll call it what? Anti-Semitic. Okay, but why do all these people, get to talk about the Bible? Okay, because isn't the Bible, okay, the word of the Most High, the God of Shem? So let's get this real quick. Let's get this. So why isn't a crackdown on people speaking about the God of Shem? Okay, making mockery of the Bible. Genesis 9:26, and he said, blessed be the Lord, power of Shem. Okay, and Canaan shall be his servant. Okay, dealing with the Hamites, which we know all these heathens going to serve, all right, the children of the Most High, the sons of God, who will come through the line of Shem. Okay, through Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You see, but wait a minute. If it's such a big push on being anti-Semitic in the world and on the internet, why do people have free range to mock and scoff the Bible? And then the Bible is the book of the God of Shem. You can't get no more anti-Semitic than that. Okay, so why isn't there a big push, a big crackdown on that? Why do they have free range, okay, to say whatever about the Bible when it's the book of the God of Shem? You see, because you people are full of shit, man. Okay, all you people, man. That's why the judgment finna be global, man. You see, because you're talking about, you talking about old events. She bringing up all these old events. The Most High got something better. Okay, what he did in Egypt, he got something better. What he did to Sodom and Gomorrah, he got something better. Okay, and you mentioned Sodom and Gomorrah, but guess what? You're in Sodom. Okay, you're in the new Sodom. Okay, so you're going to experience what happened in real time in Sodom. Man, the Lord beautiful. The way the Lord got this thing mapped out, the Lord is absolutely beautiful, man. It's like that that perfect finger roll, man. Okay. And let's go here. Let's go to the book of uh let's get this in the book of Jude. Precepts is coming from everywhere, the spirit, Let's go to the book of Jude, chapter 1. Okay. So you talking about the old classics. You see, the most high finna drop something new. How was I finna drop something new in the earth, man? That's the old album. You see, you wait till this new one drop. Jude 1:7 says, even as Sodom and Gomorrah and the cities about them in like manner, giving themselves over to fornication and going after strange flesh, are set forth for an example, suffering the vengeance of eternal fire. Yeah, because their judgment, all right, because it's not on fire forever. Okay, but their judgment is forever. Just like the judgment on America gonna be forever. Okay, it's gonna be a memorial of wickedness, just like Sodom and Gomorrah is a memorial for wickedness. Okay, the only thing you're gonna find in Sodom and Gomorrah is high concentrations of sulfur. Okay, the highest concentration of sulfur on the earth is in Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, matter of fact, let me see. I looked it up. It might still be on there. Okay, so you're talking about Sodom and Gomorrah. Well, hey, it's a part 2 coming. Okay, you talking about Pharaoh. Well, guess what? It's a part 2 to the Exodus coming, their judgment coming. All right. Let me see. Let me see. Oh, highest comes suffer. Let me see if I can find. Uh, yep. Let's go here. Let's get it. Man, we're gonna tap into it. So let's go here. Just look this up real quick on Google. Okay. So I just highest concentration of sulfur in Sodom and Gomorrah. It says, based on archaeological exploration and anecdotal reports from the region southeast of the Dead Sea, specifically sites like Bab Eid, Dra, and Numeri, the sulfur balls found in the ash ruins are often cited as having a very high concentration of sulfur. Reported concentration. The sulfur balls found in the area are reported to be 90 to 98% pure sulfur. Oh boy. Comparison to natural sulfur, these findings are distinct from the much higher in purity than typical naturally occurring volcanic sulfur, which is usually around 40% pure. Okay, so you're talking about almost 100% pure sulfur that the Lord used to judge Sodom and Gomorrah, and you can't find that purity of sulfur nowhere else in the earth, man. That's that eternal judgment. The Lord is made. He put His signature on that bitch. Okay, see, Christians, they gotta shy away from the Al Shaja. We don't. Yeah, he did that. All them accounts you just ran down. Yeah, he did that. He did that. Okay, and he put his signature on Sodom and Gomorrah. Okay, and he finna run that back. Okay, according to the scripture, he finna run Sodom and Gomorrah back on a much larger scale. Okay, it says physical characteristics said these brimstone sulfur nodules are often white, embedded in ash, and capable of burning at high temperatures. Okay? Man, yeah, the Most High put his signature on Sodom and Gomorrah, man. And he finna put his signature on America. Okay? You see, you talking about the old albums. Okay, coming soon. All right? Coming soon to Babylon. The Lord got your simple ass right here in America to scoff. Okay, and earn your judgment, man. A lot of people are just, hey, they just running through the tape. You know, it's a saying in the track, you finish strong, you run through the tape. So we just a lot of people running through the tape. Okay, and this prophesied that America, all right, aka Babylon, will get that same judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah. Let's go here, Jeremiah 59. Okay, it's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 59. It's like 49. 49. Okay, now when you go here, Jeremiah 49 and 17 says, also Edom shall be a desolation. See, the Lord from the judge the wicked. All them accounts, there was even the Israelites that was wicked, they got judged. And guess what? You niggas that was being judged in the wilderness, y'all back. Nigga, that was you. You was in one of them accounts, nigga. You see? Your ass was in one of them accounts when he was judging Israelites in the wilderness, man. Okay, they was rebellious, wicked, okay, faithless. Okay, that judgment to come back. It says, also Edom shall be a desolation. Everyone that goeth by it shall be astonished, and shall hiss at the plague thereof, as in the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, and the neighbor cities thereof, said the Lord, no man shall abide there, neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. Okay? Neither shall the Son of Man dwell in it. It's gonna be uninhabited, man. Okay, the Lord finna wipe this bitch out. He's finna do Sodom and Gomorrah, point two. He's finna do the flood, point two. Because it's gonna be a flood of fire. Okay, and she talking about the flood. Well, let's go here. So during the time on the flood, what was the behavior like of the people? Let's see what that was like before the flood. Okay, everybody's innocent. Okay, so let's go here. I said before the blood. Let me see, like I said before the flood in the Bible, were people proud and rebellious against the Most High? What would that behavior look like today, real time? It's a good question, and this one people have been asking in every age. Biblically, before the flood, Genesis the sixth chapter, this isn't the issue. Wasn't just bad behavior in a narrow sense. The text point to a heart posture toward the Most High. Pride, every inclination of the thoughts of the human heart was only evil at all time. Okay, people trusted themselves as the final authority, and you see people talk with this pride and authority. Okay, as if the Most High has to explain himself to them. Okay, like the Most High himself has to explain himself to them. This is authority that people are talking with. It said rebellion. It said living as if the Most High's boundary didn't matter. Okay, so people just say and do anything. Like I say, she's Alphabet. She supports Alphabet. Okay, and she just one of many. You see, violence and corruption. It says society normalize exploitation and cruelty. Yeah, that's why these small hats can just go bomb and destroy people real time, and you just get a shoulder shrug. But the Most High God explains Sodom and Gomorrah. These devils get to unalive. Okay, real time, do airstrikes on innocent people. Okay, well, no such thing as innocent people. Okay, but people that are not a threat to him. Okay, that's another thing they don't understand. Ain't no such thing as innocent people. Okay, because if the Lord allows people to be unalive, well, that's judgment. Okay, now the thing is, these devils, okay, what they're doing is not justified. Okay, because when you go into dealing with how the Lord works. See, the Lord is judging, dealing with reincarnation and everything. Okay, so someone being unalive is justified based on the judgment of the Most High. Okay, but see, these devils, you see, they're just going through the earth and just terrorizing, man. They're terrorizing people that are not a threat to them. Okay, so according to the Most High, no one's innocent. You see, so He allows these things to go through, but the fact that the way that this devil is doing it makes him guilty. Okay, and see, people feel some type of way because the Lord got it set up like that. Well, this is how the Lord wanted it to be. That's another thing. Okay, the Lord got it like this because He wanted like this, man. That's the thing too. Here it is, people, feel like the Lord has explained everything to them. No, the Lord does it because it's how He want to do it. Okay, He created Esau just to hate that nigga. The Lord wanted to do that. Okay, He doesn't need you to. He doesn't need your approval to do that. Okay, He created this devil to be the wicked, and He gonna judge him for being the wicked. He wants to do that. Who are we to reply against the Most High? We just appreciate His mercy. He created existence. The reason why you even have the ability to complain because the Most High decided to create existence. That's the reason you can even complain. Okay, the reason why here it is. You're in the earth. You get to drink, eat, and all these pleasures and things of life. You get to enjoy life. You get to enjoy existence because the Most High wanted you to. Okay, you didn't earn a goddamn thing. We ain't earned nothing. Everything is owed to the Most High. So thinking that the Most High got to appeal to your emotions, or you think the Most High is supposed to fit into the box of your rationale, it don't work like that. Okay, Most High do what He want to do, and the more we learn about the Most High, we know He's a righteous power. Because He really can wild out. Like y'all trying to make Him be a villain, but if He was on that, He could do that and be unchecked. But He's a righteous power. He keep Himself in check. You see, He a righteous power. He the Most High so righteous. He keep Himself in check. Okay, because it could be way worse. And you see what Esau trying to do with the little power that was given to him. Esau trying to be a tyrant on a whole nother level. Okay, but you go into the time before the flood. Okay, it says rebellion said living as if the Most High's boundary didn't matter. Violence and corruption said society normalized exploitation and cruelty. Wrongdoing wasn't shocking anymore. It was routine. Noah preached for years and he was ignored and mocked. Okay, Noah preached for years and he was ignored and mocked, man. Same thing. The apostles, okay, decades ignored and mocked. Okay, it says what that might look like today in real time terms. It says not one to one match. It said, but similar patterns can show up like this: self as ultimate authority, my truth replacing and higher moral accountability. Okay, everybody got their truth and what they think. That's why they got all these dumbass questions, man, that they post on TikTok. It says the Most High, all right, or moral limits treated as optional, outdated, or restrictive. The Most High or moral limits treated as optional, outdated, or restrictive, man. And this is the sentiment that you see amongst these people that mock the Bible. Okay, they think that obedience to the Most High is optional. Okay, they think righteousness is optional, man, and that's why this the righteous world order that the Heavenly Father is going to bring in through Yahushua. Okay, because righteousness, you see, people think it's optional right now. It's just a grace period. Okay, this just the Lord's mercy. You see, that's another thing. No one talks about the Lord's mercy Because you look at the wickedness of Esau, man. This man has been worthy of judgment, man. Okay, with the Lord's mercy, he is not for Esau to repent; it's for the hopeful elect. Okay, until the hopeful elect is, sealed and built up, man, the Lord is holding it back. Okay, for mercy's sake. And then when you read on, it said pride dressed up as progress. It says celebrating human power, technology, or intelligence while dismissing humility. The assumption that we know better now, therefore we don't need the Most High. The assumption that we know better now, therefore we don't need the Most High. And that way of thinking come from Esau, man. These Esau philosophers, and because all this question of the Most High, they come from the Enlightenment era. Okay, all these Edomite philosophers questioning the Most High, challenging the Most High with science and philosophy and theories. Okay, and now the average nigga, okay, is a philosopher now. Okay, that questions and challenges the Most High. It said normalize corruption, exploitation becoming systemic, economic, sexual, environmental, people benefiting from injustice without feeling responsible. It said violence beyond the physical, not just wars, dehumanization, online cruelty, rage, culture, treating people as disposable, loss of empathy becoming socially acceptable, mockery of righteousness, integrity, faithfulness, restraint, repentance seen as weakness and ignorance. So submit to the Most High is looked at as ignorance and weakness in this society. Okay, restraint, moving with discipline. Okay, following the Bible is looked at as weakness and ignorance in this society, man. It said those who call for moral accountability labor intolerant or foolish. Warning fatigue, it said constant exposure to crisis, injustice, or moral collapse leads to apathy where people are just checked out and disconnected from the warnings of the judgment that's to come. And that's what the Lord wants. He wants you people numb. So he want to wake you up with this pain. He want to give you that jolt, okay, of that pain through judgment, man. It says that's just how the world is, replacing grief, okay, or repentance. Okay. So this is what we see. Okay, this is what we're seeing right now. And they said one important balance is said the Bible also said the Most High is patient and merciful, slow to judge, and eager for repentance. And we know repentance is only for Israel, and only the elect of Israel are going to get it. So every generation has people who resemble Noah too, which Noah represents the elect, quietly faithful, resisting the current, often unnoticed, man. Okay, and there's a remnant whom the Lord's going to have mercy on, man. Okay, He's going to show His love forever. Now I want to go here because I want to play one more video because it said this. So when you go here to pride dressed up as progress, it says the assumption that we know better now, therefore we don't need the Most High. The assumption that we know better now, therefore we don't need the Most High. Okay, so I want to play one more video. The same little chick. All right, and then let's listen to what she says. Okay, all the destruction that Esau done with the Bible in his hand. All right, the conquistadors. Okay, the British, the French, all this destruction, great robbery and murder that the so-called white man has done with the Bible in his hand, but that's not worth talking about. Okay, and the devil can do all this, wickedness and injustice. Okay, but that, okay, goes unchecked. So let's play this. Now listen to this.
I would create way more than just one man and one woman so that their children don't have
Let me.
to fuck each other. I wouldn't create. I would be a better God. God than God. I'd argue that most humans could be a better God than God. It's not that hard. I would be a better God than God. I'd argue that
Try and get it from the beginning.
If God
I would be a better God than God. I'd argue that most humans could be a better God than God.
if God proved to you that it was
I would be a better God than God. I'd argue that most humans could be a better God than God. It's not that hard at all. I can tell you right now how I'd be better than God. For one, I would create way more than just one man and one woman so that their children don't have to fuck each other. I wouldn't create a tree for the sole purpose of seeing if my creation is going to eat from it or not. I'm not that bored. I already know what they're going to do because I'm all knowing. And if those people that I created just so happen to become evil later on, I would just snap them out of existence. I wouldn't drown them. In fact, I don't think I would create evil at all. You know, like how the God in the Bible created evil, as stated in Isaiah 45:7. I make peace and create evil. I, the Lord, do all these things. I also would never send plagues to the Egyptians just to show them that I am the Lord, like God in the Bible did in Exodus 7:17, or harden the Pharaoh's heart just so I can perform more plagues. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't send a plague to kill 70,000 innocent people just to punish David for doing a census like in 2 Samuel 24. I also wouldn't give Bathsheba and David a baby only to kill it later on as punishment for David. I'd probably just make David's little sausage fall off so that he can't fuck anyone else's wife. Like, y'all can keep the baby, but that's y'all's last baby. I wouldn't turn Lot's wife into a pillar of salt for looking back at her city being destroyed like in Genesis 19, especially since they were far away from the town when she looked back. What I would do is turn Lot into a pillar of salt after he offered up his daughters to be raped by the townsmen. And the townsmen too, matter of fact. Everybody turn it in salt. I also wouldn't accept the human sacrifice that Jephthah made in Judges 11. I probably would have spoken up when he made that stupid vow, like, hey, dumbass, who else is gonna walk out of your house to greet you but your only daughter? I don't want a human sacrifice. Pick a different vow. I also personally wouldn't call for the genocide of all of the Amalekites like in 1 Samuel 15. Maybe the soldiers that attacked the Israelites, but the innocent women and children, they would be spared. There's no reason to kill them. I could keep going. Like, there's so much in the Bible that this God did that I would never do if I was in his position. Like, are they hiring up there? Because obviously the dude in charge don't know what the fuck he's doing. I would be a better God than God. I'd argue
Pre-flood behavior, you know. And you see, understanding what we know now, you know, she just had to play her part. And she's the logo of many. She's just the logo of the mindset of many, you know, and she has to play her part. They have to play their part. You know, these things must be uttered, you know, and the Lord has to put a bold, proud spirit on someone, you know, to be that proud. And she keeps saying that these people are innocent. You don't know, you're not in their position to call someone innocent. The Most High knows these spirits, okay, and he sends them back for a judgment. Let's go here to Job. Okay, you're not, we can't even say who's innocent or guilty. Okay, only the Most High knows these things, and there's certain things that only the Most High, he fully understands, man. We have, all right, the 100% of the understanding he gave us, man. Okay, we don't, in these weak, feeble bodies, okay, we're not capable, okay, of fully understanding the mind of the Most High. And see, that's offensive. They mad at that. Everything, they're offended by every goddamn thing. Okay, but you go to Job 4:7. Remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent. So those 70,000, okay, that the Lord allowed, you know, that angel to put to death because the Lord, because David counted Israel, they wasn't innocent. The Lord wanted to off them anyway. Okay, see, the Lord does what he wants, how he wants. Okay, and it's all in righteousness. But see, if you're not mature in righteousness, you know, the simple woman, she don't know. Okay, but as we mature, you know, as righteous judges, okay, we understand our power more and more. It makes sense more and more. But if you're on the outside looking in, you're gonna be offended at every goddamn thing. Okay, everything gonna be offensive to you. But look at the pride. If I was the Most High, okay, see, this is the environment that Esau has created. Okay, to where the average person just walking around critiquing the Most High with no fear. You know, it says, remember, I pray thee, whoever perish being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off. Now, she just said that she wouldn't have killed the innocent women and children of Amalek. Well, wait a minute. The small ants are killing women and children. Okay, based on the same scripture you're talking about, they're doing it right now. They're killing women and children right now. Okay, and we know no one is innocent that perishes. You know, they've done something, okay, worthy of judgment. Okay, but in the situation to where they're being airstrike, okay, they're being met with military force. Okay, in that situation, they're innocent. The way that Esau was doing it, okay, the type of force that this devil is using, okay, and the justification of what he's doing, that's wicked. Okay, so in their circumstances, you know, they're innocent, but according to the judgment from on high, we know they're not innocent, man. They're allowed to be judged for something. Okay, but in that moment where this devil is just slaughtering because he has the ability to, what they call might is right, that's wicked, man. Okay, it says, "Or where were the righteous? Or where were the righteous cut off? Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same." Okay, so when we see judgment, man, all right, they're just people reaping, okay, what they've sown. Okay, and who fully knows these spirits more than the Most High? Okay, so these people don't understand judgment. Okay, they don't understand righteous judgment. Okay, because she's trying to make the Most High fit in her, okay, emotions. Okay, and her rationale. The Most High got to fit in her emotions and rationale, which how she would have did. Okay, but this is the society of Esau. This is the proud society, okay, under Esau, man, because he's been doing it for centuries, man. Okay, challenging the Most High. Okay, this is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 18, verse 25. It says, "Yet ye say the way of the Lord is not equal." Okay, and this is what we're hearing more and more. Hear now, O house of Israel, is not my way equal, and your ways unequal. Okay, you can't even make the judgment call that you shouldn't be with another woman. Okay, and men shouldn't be with men. You don't even have that figured out, but you trying to tell the Most High how he should have judged in every situation in the Bible. Okay, you can't even come to the simple understanding that you shouldn't be with another woman and the man shouldn't be with another man. You can't even come to that. You niggas are arguing about what bathroom to go to, but you gonna tell the Most High how he should have judged in every situation in the Bible, man. Okay, you see, you know how far from reality Esau has people, man. You know what? This is their pre-flood behavior, man. You know, so yeah, man. We know. Let's go here. All pride finna be brought low. You know, all pride is finna be brought low. Okay, let's go here. This is the book of Isaiah 13:11, and it says, "And I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity," man. Okay, there's a judgment. So just because you think that you're gonna stump the Bible with your reasoning, okay, that you on a higher level than the Most High, okay, and you think that you're exempt from this judgment, nah, man. You see, the Lord's finna judge the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity, and I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible, man. Okay, so the Lord finna cause pride to cease, man. It's gonna be through judgment. And then she proves another point too, because she keeps speaking about all this judgment in the scriptures. Well, that's what the Most High, that's what he wanted. He wanted to make statements with those judgments. Psalms 9:16. It said, "The Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. The wicked is snared in the works of his own hands. Okay? So the Lord is known by the judgment which he executed. So all those judgments that you're talking about, the Lord wanted that to be known. Okay? The Lord don't shy away from what he's done in the Bible. Okay? Esau tiptoe around. Most High don't. Okay? The scriptures say the Lord will work and who will let. Like who does the Most High need from permission? What permission does the Most High need to be, all right, to judge how he sees fit, how he sees right? Who permission does he need? And people think that the Most High need their permission to carry out judgment in the earth. Okay, they want to make it seem as if people are innocent in their eyes. Man, you're not in their position. You don't have that viewpoint. Okay, only the Most High has that viewpoint to make certain judgment calls, man. Okay, matter of fact, let's go here to the wisdom of Solomon. Let's go to wisdom of Solomon, man. I ain't planning on being this long, but spirit flowing. Let's go here. No one ever perishes being innocent to the Lord. Okay, they might be innocent in that moment. Okay, based on their situation. Okay, but on a spiritual level, on a high level, in the courts of the Most High, there's no one is innocent that perish, man. Okay. Now, let's go here. So when we see judging, man, we don't think about the little baby, all the women and children. No, it's the Lord judging. The Lord judging. Okay. But see, Esau claimed himself to be this righteous, upright man. Okay. So why is he just slaughtering? Okay. Esau, he's the one that claimed to be the people of the Bible, but he does nothing that the Bible says. Except when it comes to, killing women and children. Okay. Which there was a command given at that time. It has nothing to do with this nigga doing right now. Okay, there was a command for that time when you go in 1 Samuel. And then he's Amalek. So he just off, man. He just completely used that to do wickedness, man. Okay. But let's go here real quick to Wisdom of Solomon. All right. Chapter 12. So you go to Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12. Jump down. Because you go into these Canaanites was in the land. Okay, they was extremely wicked. And the Lord began to judge them, okay, on their wickedness. And it tells you that, the Lord had allotted a time for them to fulfill their wickedness, man, before he would judge. Okay? Because when the Lord allows you to keep going and going and going in your wickedness, that means that he want to do you some bad. That's why the hopeful elect, man, we get chastened immediately. Sometimes we have an off thought, and hit our knees like, damn. You see, as soon as you have a crazy thought, and you sitting there playing with the thought, and you damn, bump your head like, nigga, get right. But the Lord allowed you to just keep going and going and going and going in your wickedness. That means that he has a hell of a judgment that you earn it. He's allowing you to earn this judgment that he got for you, man. Okay? It says, this is on Wisdom of Solomon 12:9, says, not that thou wast unable to bring the ungodly under the hand of the righteous in battle. Okay? Speaking of the Canaanites, giving them over to Israel in battle, or to destroy them at once with cruel beasts or with one rough word. Yeah, he's able to do that. Okay? It said, but executing thy judgments upon them by little and little, thou gavest them place of repentance, not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation, and that their malice was bred in them, and that their cognition would never be changed, their mind. Okay? It said, for it was a cursed seed from the beginning, going back to Canaan. Okay, neither didst thou for fear of any man give them pardon for those things wherein they sin. Neither didst thou for fear of any man give them pardon for those things, all right, wherein they sin. For who will say, what hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Or who shall accuse thee for the nations that perish, whom thou made? These are the Lord's creations. These are his spirit. This is his nation. This is his existence. Okay, who are you to question him in his existence? For him doing what he want to do. Okay, this is what people don't understand. They think this Esau has painted the Most High as something to play with, as if he's on some type of plan. Like people, the average person think that they on some type of reasoning level with the Most High. Like they can sit down face to face with the Most High and reason with him. Okay, you're not built like that. Okay, you can't reason. Okay, with the Most High. Okay, he gave us the knowledge, he gave us to operate and be obedient to him, to serve him. Okay, well, you think you can go tick for tat and try to reason with the Most High? That's the spirit of an Edomite. Okay, it said, verse 12, for who shall say, what hast thou done? Or who shall withstand thy judgment? Or who shall accuse thee for the nations that perish, whom thou hast made? Or who shall come to stand against thee to be revenged for the unrighteous men? So go, if you don't like, all you can do is get on TikTok. But guess what? You still subjugated to these prophecies. Okay? You still gonna have to deal with the matter of fact, you in captivity now to Esau. You in the world ruled by Esau, which that's the will of the Lord, to have Esau in rulership and us in captivity in under Esau until he comes and frees us, man. So you still subjugated to that. All you can do is get on the TikTok and make these videos. That's it. Okay? You can't go check the Most High about nothing. You see? All you can do is get on TikTok and make videos. That's it. And then even with that, you're fulfilling your will. You're fulfilling your role as a scoffer and a mocker in the last days. All you can do is fulfill the will of the Most High. You see? You was wrote into the script to be a scoffer. And that's all you can do. You see? You can feel how you want to feel, but you still subjugated to the will of the Lord. Okay? Verse 13 says, for neither is there any power but thou that care for all, to whom thou mightest show, all right, that thy judgment is not unright. Okay? Neither shall king or tyrant be able to set his face against thee for any whom thou hast punished, man. Okay? And you just going down that list of all these accounts of the Lord judging in the Bible. Okay, now what? Yeah, he did it. Now what? You see? they judged Sodom and Gomorrah. We just went into it. They got destroyed with fire. That happened. Okay, the flood, it came. Now what? You feel some type of way? Okay? Then you got all this judgment that's finna come now. Sodom and Gomorrah part 2. Okay, you wouldn't have did it like that. Okay, now what? So now everything gonna pause. Okay, everybody gotta go to the drawing board now. No, man. It said, for so much then as thou art righteous thyself, thou orderest all things righteously, thinking it not agreeable with thy power to condemn him that has not deserved to be punished. Okay, thinking it not agreeable with thy power to condemn him that have not deserved to be punished, man. Okay, so all those judgment that you read about in the Bible, those people deserve those judgments, man. Sodom and Gomorrah, okay, Pharaoh, Amalek, okay, and Amalek finna get their work again. Okay, The Lord finna, this society is ran by Amalek. That's why the Lord finna bring so much judgment to the earth. He's gonna bring judgment to the earth ran by Amalek. It's good that you brought them up. Okay? It says, for thy power is the beginning of righteousness, and because thou art Lord of all, it maketh thee to be gracious unto all, man. So the Lord could be out here wilding out on a whole nother level. Okay, unchecked. He's the only one that can go unchecked in existence. No one else in existence just can move around unchecked except him. And he keeps himself in check. Okay? You people have no idea. You see? It said, for when men will not believe that thou art full of power, thou showest thy strength, and among them that know it, thou makest their boldness manifest, man. You see? So those that know it are the elect, man. And see, we're bold in our power. We know what he's finna do. You see, it's fun and games right now. You can show your teeth right now. You can make your little post, you know, get your likes and views, and, you know, get your cheerleaders on, and, you know, this community, y'all can go back and forth with the comments. Okay? But it's coming time where the Lord's going to show, all right, that he is. Okay? He's going to show that he is, man, and he's going to send his son to conquer the earth in righteousness, man. Okay? But see, it says, but thou, mastering thy power, judges with equity, man, which is righteousness, man. So the Most High judges righteously in the earth, man. Everyone that gets judged, everyone that's unalive, okay, is according to righteous judgment, man. Okay? And the Most High has perfect, he has, we don't have the information to make the judgment calls the Most High make. We're not operating with that information, man. Only the Most High is operating with all the information to make the righteous judgment in every situation. You see? Okay, your simple ass, okay, on TikTok with your opinions, you're not in no position to make those judgments. Okay? You don't know what's going on. Like I said, you can't even make the judgment between woman and woman and man. Okay? It said, and like this guy, Noah Yuval Harari, and you know he talk crazy as hell. Because she sound like him. You see? But that same guy, he a Mo. Okay? This nigga with a boyfriend trying to say that AI is smarter than the Most High. But this nigga got a boyfriend, man. Okay? You see how off and simple people are? You see how primitive people are, but think they so goddamn smart? Okay? It says, and orders us with great favor, for thou mayest use power when thou wilt. Okay? So the Most High can use power. He can use power when he get ready, unchecked. Okay? You see, Esau, all right, he finna get checked. You see, this devil, you see, the villain you trying to paint the Most High to be, that's Esau. You know? If Esau had power, that he was unchecked, man, it wouldn't be no existence, man. He would destroy every goddamn thing. Okay? So, yeah, man, you know, we can go into plenty more, you know, but, you know, I just save for another video. You know, so Lord will, you brothers, all right, and you sisters, edify once again, and give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Makakodash, and double honors unto the apostles and the elders of GMS who rule well, teach well, being great examples to his younger brothers, and peace and blessings, salutations, hopefully, Shalom.